Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular board meeting for Tuesday, October 27th. We'll say welcome to everybody who's here in the audience, also folks that are joining us online. And we'll begin this evening with our land acknowledgement. The Rainbow District School Board would like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Anishinaabe, including the Atikamekw, Ashanomic, and the Wanapitei Nations. We'd also like to acknowledge that we are situated in the Robinson-Huron Treaty of 1850 and want to recognize the inherent rights of the Anishinaabe that maintain these lands from time immemorial. And we'll start this meeting off with our roll call. Director Bourget.
Trustee Dubosky. Trustee Farrell.
Present.
Trustee Gibson.
Present.
Trustee Cosmerly. Trustee McCauley.
Present.
Trustee Dewar.
Present.
Trustee Hunda.
Present.
Trustee Corbier-Addison.
Present.
Trustee Clement.
Present.
Student Trustee Nuchtai.
Present.
And Student Trustee Wilson-Ziegel.
Present.
Thank you, Director. First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. We'll need a mover and a seconder that the agenda for the regular board meeting of October 22nd, 2024 be approved. And that's moved by Trustee McCauley and seconded by Trustee Corbier-Addison. Okay, and we'll move to a poll vote. Director?
Trustee Clement.
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison.
In favor.
Trustee Dewar.
In favor.
Trustee Farrell.
In favor?
Trustee Gibson.
In favor.
Trustee Hunda.
In favor.
Trustee McCauley.
In favor.
Student Trustee Nuchtai.
In favor.
Student Trustee Wilson-Ziegel.
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you, Director. Next item on the agenda is preliminary declaration of pecuniary interests. Looking to see if anybody has any declarations. Seeing none. Presentations, next section, and I'll turn over to Director Bourget to say a few words about this presentation.
Thank you, Chair Farrow. Trustees, I will say this as just a quick introduction to this. The presentation you see tonight is a celebration, and it's a direct result of the excellent leadership you see in Executive Council and assistant principals who are here tonight. And it's also carries through our entire system. It not only represents some slides and some data, but an entire year's worth of work, very dedicated, focused, intentional work to make incremental gains that create this celebration that you'll have a nice summary for at the end of this presentation. So with that, I can't thank everybody enough, not only for this excellent presentation, but the extreme amount of hard work and dedication that it took to make these changes and make the progress you'll see tonight. So with that, I'll turn it over to Superintendent Fisher.
Good evening. And tonight we are pleased to share with you the EQAO results for Rainbow Schools. EQAO stands for Education, Quality, and Accountability Office. It is the provincial body that administers student assessments to determine how well students are achieving curriculum expectations. As always, our assessment results are used to enhance student learning. We ask two important questions. How are we doing? And what can we do next to improve student learning? Joining us tonight to report on our EQO results is Student Success Lead Melanie Bertrand, Principal of Program Dan Kosier, Principal of Special Education Programs and Services Danielle Williamson. We would welcome any questions at the end of the presentation. At this time, I'd like to turn the presentation over to Principal of Program Dan Kosier.
Thank you, Superintendent Fisher. In many of the slides today, we will look at graphs comparing trends over time. The Ministry of Education has set level 3, or 70 to 79%, as the provincial standard. The primary assessment is administered in grade 3, while the junior assessment is completed by students in grade 6. In all slides referring to primary and junior results, you will note that there is no data available for 2014 and 15. This is the year that no EQAO assessments took place in English public boards across the province as part of provincial job action at that time. Additionally, you'll note that there's no data available for 2019-20 and 2021 as the assessment was paused during the pandemic. It should be noted that when the EQAO assessments resumed during the 2021-22 school year, there were significant changes to the format. The assessment is now fully electronic and is administered using an e-assessment platform. While students do have the option to respond to some questions using paper and pencil, many questions can only be answered electronically. Along with the change of format, the content is delivered differently. Not every student receives the same questions, as the test is adaptive based on student input. Depending on the response to a question, the following questions may be drawn from a different bank. A number of tools are built into the e-assessment platform, including text-to-speech, a highlighting tool, and mindfulness activities to help students remain calm and focused. As we look at the graphs, the Rainbow results appear in blue and the province in red. Overall, Rainbow has much to celebrate. We have the top result in all English language boards, public or Catholic, in Northeastern Ontario in primary and junior reading, writing, and mathematics. I'd like to introduce Superintendent Wachnock, who will present the first set of results.
Good evening. Tonight, we will be sharing the achievement data for all students with exceptionalities. This includes students with learning disabilities, autism, language impairments, physical disabilities, mild intellectual disabilities, developmental disabilities, and behavior identifications. The data excludes students who are identified as gifted. As you can see in this slide, 44% of our students with exceptionalities in grade 3 achieved level 3 or higher in reading. This is just 1% away from reaching the provincial result, or 45%. This year, we continue to work with our students with exceptionalities to increase their achievement in reading through strong classroom practices, as well as programs such as Lexia, Leveled Literacy Intervention, and Empower.
Thank you. In total, 884 students participated in the primary assessment. In 2023-24, results in primary reading showed a slight decrease at both the provincial and board levels. Rainbow outperformed the province in this category for the first time ever. Rainbow continues to be the highest achieving board within our region in this portion of the assessment. We attribute this to our continued focus on effective and impactful literacy instruction. Students continue to receive daily reading instruction with an explicit focus on phonological awareness, phonics, and comprehension strategies. As you can see, our results are in alignment and slightly above the province, with 71.3% of RDSB students achieving at provincial standard or above, compared to 71.2% in the province.
%36% of our students with exceptionalities achieved level 3 or higher in writing, which is 2% away from the provincial average and 1% higher than our results last year. This is an area of need that we are addressing this year with a focus on not only increased daily writing practice, but also supporting increased fluency in our students' use of assistive technology. Assistive technology helps our students to become independent, it enhances their communication skills, and it helps them to express their academic abilities.
This year, we saw an increase of slightly more than 1% in primary writing results, while the province saw an overall drop of nearly 2%. Rainbow remains the top performing board in this area. Rainbow teachers provide rich writing opportunities for students as they develop their proficiency, reflected in the improvement last year. We've also shared a common scope and sequence document for writing to support instruction for students from grades 1 to 6. We're proud of the progress our students are making and credit an ongoing focus on daily writing for the continued success in this area.
"25% of our grade 3 students with exceptionalities achieved provincial standard. We are building upon our supports and intervention strategies for students with special education needs in mathematics. Providing accommodations specific to support the gap closure in math for our students with identification remains a focus. We continue to work with our program team to identify best practices and specific interventions that will increase the math achievement for our students.
For 2023-24, the number of students achieving its standard in mathematics in the primary division grew to 56.2%, an increase of nearly 2%. The province saw a comparable increase. Once again, Rainbow is the top performing board in Northeastern Ontario this year, ranking first in the geographic area. We continue to focus on providing students with high fidelity math instruction, supported by the work of our consultants, coaches, and coordinators at all grade levels. This includes providing board-developed resources that ensure consistent, high-impact instruction throughout the system.
We are excited to share our grade 6 achievement for reading for our students with exceptionalities. With 67% of our students achieving level 3 or higher, we continue to outperform the province again this year in grade 6 reading. As we move forward with the school year, we remain focused on increasing our results through strong classroom instruction and thoughtful intervention.
866 students participated in the junior assessment. This year, we saw a small increase in junior reading achievement, while the province saw a decrease of about 1.5%. Rainbow is now exceeding achievement in the province, with 83.7% of students achieving its standard versus 82% in the province. The continued focus on high-impact reading instruction across the grades is paying dividends as we see our students experiencing success.
This year, 55% of our students with exceptionalities in grade 6 achieved provincial standard, which mirrors the provincial results. As with our grade 3 writing, our grade 6 writing is an area of need that we are addressing with a focus on not only increased daily writing practice, but also supporting increased proficiency in our students' use of assistive technology.
Writing remains an area of focus in Rainbow. This year, we saw a 2.5% decrease in junior writing, while the province saw a more significant decrease of 3.2%. Daily writing remains a focus throughout the system. Writing is a multi-layered, complex task that involves focus, development of ideas, and communicating those ideas in written form. Recognizing this as an area of need, a system team was established this past summer to produce a writing scope and sequence for grades 1 to 6. The intention of this document is to strengthen, streamline, and align our writing instruction across the board. This resource was shared with all schools during the professional activity day prior to the start of the school year. We look forward to seeing the impact of this resource and ongoing support for writing on student achievement.
This year, 18% of our grade 6 students with exceptionalities achieved provincial standard. As with grade 3 mathematics, we are building upon our supports and intervention strategies for our students. Providing accommodations specific to support the gap closure in math for our students with exceptionalities remains a focus. We continue to work with our program team to identify best practices and specific interventions that will increase the math achievement for our students.
For a second consecutive year, Rainbow students saw improvement in achievement in junior mathematics. This demonstrates our continued progress in this area. Ongoing implementation of high-impact strategies and resources remains a focus of staff throughout the board as we work to build on this positive trajectory. In order to support further growth in this area, math demonstration classrooms have been established throughout the system in all geographic areas of the board.
Within the 970 students who fully participated in the grade 9 EQAO math assessment, 242, or 24.9% of students who participated, had exceptionalities. Our board achieved a 22% success rate, which is an increase of 2% from our results in 2022-2023. We continue to use diagnostic tools and grade 8 to 9 transition meetings to identify students who may need additional support in computation and number sense before moving into the grade 9 math course. We are supporting our students, including those with exceptionalities, throughout grades 7 and 8 by spiraling the math curriculum. This allows teachers to introduce math concepts to students and reteach them throughout the year, with consistent opportunities for students to practice and consolidate their learning. By doing this, we are creating multiple opportunities to address misconceptions in math and develop fluency so that gaps are being closed.
As just mentioned, 970 students participated in the grade 9 EQAO mathematics assessment. We saw a 1% increase in students who met the provincial standard with a 45% success rate, while the province reported a percentage of 54, or the same result as 2022-23. Meeting the provincial standard in mathematics continues to be a challenge provincially. It should be noted that Rainbow is ranked second in the Northeast region in this area. We expect to continue to make gains as schools implement school math action plans, which include best practices in numeracy instruction supported by math coaches, and teachers continue to identify gaps in knowledge through diagnostic assessments, allowing for targeted supports in grades 7, 8, and 9. This year, intermediate teachers will have the opportunity to visit a demonstration classroom where they will see high-yield strategies in authentic action. Visits to the classroom will be followed by consultant support in their home school. This job-embedded professional learning is expected to have an impact on both teaching and learning. $975 first-time eligible grade 10 students fully participated in the grade 10 literacy assessment. There were 256 students with exceptionalities participating in the OSSLT. Our board achieved a 58% success rate, which is an increase of 2% over our results from last year. We are continuing to build on identifying skill gaps through grade 8 to 9 transition meetings to ensure proper supports are in place for grades 9 and 10. These supports include participation in courses that use intervention programs such as Leveled Literacy Intervention and Empower, which help students improve specific decoding and/or reading comprehension gaps. Additional supports for students includes assistance in the classroom and/or within a resource period from the classroom teacher and resource teacher. Educational assistants also provide academic support to students with exceptionalities. Again, as Principal Williamson mentioned, 975 first-time eligible grade 10 students fully participated in the grade 10 Ontario Secondary School Literacy Assessment. And as you know, demonstrating proficiency in literacy is a graduation requirement. We are very pleased to report that our board saw a 5% increase in the percentage of students who met the standard, with 82% of students meeting success on the test. You might notice that the blue bar illustrating this year's results is the highest it's been in the 10 years represented, and in fact, it is the best achievement in 20 years. We attribute this to a continued commitment to structured reading, an increase in writing across the curriculum, which you've heard several times tonight, and to the classroom support provided by our consultants and coordinators who have built capacity across the system in both of these areas. As an example of our sustained attention to writing across the curriculum, this past summer, a team of writers created writing lessons for a variety of content areas in grades 7, 8, and 9. So we look forward to seeing better results as we move forward.
Rainbow District School Board can be very, very proud of its overall EQAO results. The primary and junior assessments demonstrate the success of our efforts in RDSB. Amongst all English language boards in northeastern Ontario, Rainbow is the top performing in all areas: grade 3 reading, writing, and math, as well as grade 6 reading, writing, and math. In primary reading, Rainbow students outperform the province, and in primary writing, we have seen improved results every year for the past 3 years. Results in primary mathematics are the highest in a decade. Similarly, our junior reading results represent our best achievement since 2014. Rainbow is now exceeding achievement in the province with 83.7% of students achieving at standard versus 82% in the province. In junior mathematics, we have seen an increase in the number of students at provincial standard every year in the past 3. We have much to celebrate. Our grade 9 results are second in the Northeast for math, and our grade 10 OSSLT results is the highest in 20 years. We would like to thank our classroom teachers, program team, and our school administrators, and of course our students for their hard work. Everybody's hard work created the conditions for gains in student achievement. We continue to create strategies and opportunities to improve our professional practice. At this point, we are pleased to answer any questions.
Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Any questions from trustees? Trustee McCauley, go ahead.
I don't have any questions, but I just have a great feeling of pride in the work that our team has done once again to show how efficient we are at all levels. And I congratulate everyone that was involved in this and anyone that had any part, no matter how small, in bringing this up. And I have no doubt that when we look at the numbers going down the road, that they'll be up again. Congratulations to all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee McCauley. Trustee Corbier-Addison, please.
Thank you for that presentation. I am so glad to see the results that we've seen with regards to our progress and our students. My question is with regards to Spec Ed. Has there been any decline in the Spec Ed results due to funding decreases in terms of one-on-one support or intensive support that could be offered to our kids that could have produced a better result?
Through you, Chair. It hasn't been long enough. So we've had the changes with regards to the special incident portion. However, our staffing has remained the same because we haven't had that, we haven't crossed that bridge yet. So I don't know if that answers your question. So no, we haven't seen a decrease as the result of the change in funding, but that's not to say we won't in the future.
Yeah, because those results are more specifically from last year's teaching, and this year's budget is where we may see some decreases. Is that correct?
Through you, Chair. It's kind of hard for me to say until we get those dollars allocated to the school board in late March, early April. But it would stand to reason. I think it is going to depend on how much we have in the reserves and how much we're able to maintain the current staffing level in our schools that we currently have, with the support that we currently have.
Thank you.
Trustee Corbier-Addison, if I could just add to that, I think that what Superintendent Washnick is saying is that we have not made the significant staffing cuts as of yet to special education, and we've funded a number of those things through surplus at this point in time. So we're not seeing any effect right now, but moving forward, we have to always be cautious and keep our eye on the fact that, you know, the change to the special incident portion is significant. So I hope that helps with your question.
Yes, thank you.
Any further questions or comments? Trustee Hunda, go ahead.
I'll try to make this really, really short. I don't have a question, but as always, I have a thank you very, very much. I truly too sit here as my colleague, very proud of our results. And I want to thank everyone. I want to thank our director, our superintendents, definitely these three talented people in front of me, and the staff and the parents and the students, because it takes a village, and this is working. And I think for trustees, when we see, part of our strategic plan, that we've got our hearts and our minds and our intentions in the right place, and we're seeing results. And I've been around a long time. I've been watching these EQA results year after year after year, and this is certainly something to celebrate. And again, thank you so much from myself, and I'm sure the rest of the trustees.
Thank you, Trustee Hunda. Any further comments? Just add a couple of things. Wonderful job. Fantastic work by everybody. You guys rock. There's no doubt about that. This is just the result of what I would call relentless, intentional focus. So great job. I do have one quick question, though. The question is, and you may not be able to answer it this time, but we often refer to how Rainbows compares in Northeastern Ontario. Any thoughts or any idea how we compare to Northwestern Ontario? And maybe that's a question for another day, but certainly I would be interested to see those results at some point in time.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. We'll keep that in mind.
Okay, great, thanks. All right, thank you very much for your presentation. Once again, we really do appreciate it very much. Okay, moving on with our agenda, we're on Section D of the agenda now, and it's a report from the closed meeting of the board. And we have a motion, that motion number 24-W28, Labor Relations, be approved. I need a mover for that. That's moved by Trustee Hunda and seconded by Trustee Clement. So we will ask for the poll vote, please, Director.
Trustee Clement?
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison?
In favor?
Trustee Dewar?
In favor.
Trustee Farrell?
In favor.
Trustee Gibson?
In favor.
Trustee Hunda?
In favor.
Trustee McCauley?
In favor.
Student Trustee Nucci?
In favor.
Student Trustee Wilson-Ziegel?
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you, Director. Old business, we have previous minutes. We have a motion that the minute of the special We have the minutes of the special board meeting held on Tuesday, September 24th, 2024 be approved. We'll need a mover and a seconder for that. Moved by Trustee Hunda, seconded by Trustee McCauley, and we'll go for the poll vote.
Trustee Clement?
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison?
In favor?
Trustee Dewar?
In favor.
Trustee Farrell?
In favor.
Trustee Gibson?
In favor.
Trustee Hunda?
In favor.
Trustee McCauley?
In favor.
Student Trustee Nucci?
In favor.
And Student Trustee Wilson-Ziegel.
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you, Director. We have reports and recommendations from the board. There's no report, so there's nil for that. We have one other item that we need to address, and we have a motion to amend motion 24-R68. That Trustee Clement, Trustee Corbier-Addison, Trustee Dabowski, Trustee Dewar, Trustee Farrow, Trustee Gibson, Trustee Hunda, and Trustee Cosmerly establish the ad hoc committee responsible to review the Rainbow District School Board Board of Governance bylaw and present their recommendation to the Strategic Planning Committee to include Trustee McCauley. So I'll need a mover and a seconder for that. Moved by Trustee Clement and seconded by Trustee Hunda. Trustee Dewar has raised her hand. Is that a seconder, Trustee Dewar, or do you have a question?
Seconder.
Thank you, Trustee Dewar. Questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll go to the poll vote.
Trustee Clement?
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison?
In favor?
Trustee Dewar?
In favor.
Trustee Farrell?
In favor.
Trustee Gibson?
In favor.
Trustee Hunda?
In favor.
Trustee McCauley?
In favor.
Student Trustee Nucci?
In favor.
Student Trustee Wilson-Ziegel?
In favor.
The motion is carried.
Thank you, Director. New business. Number 1, we have the OSTA-AECO fees, and we have a motion that the 2024-2025 Ontario Student Trustees Association membership fee be approved. We'll have that moved by Trustee Hunda and seconded by Trustee Gibson. Do we have any comments, Superintendent Gilbo? Anything on that, or? Okay. Anything else? Okay, we'll go for the roll call, or the poll vote, please.
Trustee Clement,
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison,
In favor?
Trustee Dewar,
In favor?
Trustee Farrow,
In favor.
Trustee Gibson,
In favor.
Trustee Hunda,
In favor?
Trustee McCauley,
In favor?
Student Trustee Nuchtai,
In favor.
Student Trustee Wilson-Ziegel.
In favor.
The motion is carried.
Thank you. Under new business number 2, we have OSB refund, and I'll turn the floor over to Superintendent Gilbo, please.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. The 2024 premium refund from the OSB School Board Insurance Exchange is valued at $62,211.96, as is detailed in the documents provided as part of your package. Similar to the last couple of years, it is our intention to reinvest these funds as part of our continued efforts to enhance network security, addressing key areas of improvement as identified by OSB's cybersecurity analysis. I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Superintendent Gilbo? Trustee McCauley.
This refund, is this based on, over the year, like on a sick leave? Excuse me, or something of that? Where does this refund emanate from? That's my question.
Through you, Chair. So the OSB is a collection of all the boards, so all the premiums are collected, and then based on a reconciliation of the claims, their reserves, they determine what the annual refund is when they do their financial statements, and they distribute it accordingly to each board.
So in other words, it's performance-based. So if we do better as far as sick leaves and things like this, ultimately it may impact on that?
Not sick leave. This would be insurance claims,
Okay.
and not us as a board in terms of performance, but as a collective.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you. We'll go on to the next item on our agenda, and this is still Superintendent Gilbo. It's honoraria for trustees for 2004-2025.
Thank you again, Chair. You will find the backup for the trustee honoraria calculation as prescribed in Regulation 357/06 in the package provided to you. You will note a slight increase in the amounts for the upcoming term, which begins November 15th, based on an increase in the enrollment component, while the base component remains unchanged. And again, happy to take any questions.
Any questions? Seeing none, thank you so much. Next item on their agenda is trustees' expenditures for 2023-2024. Superintendent Gilbo, go ahead.
Thank you again, Chair Farrell. Again, you will find this report in the package provided to you. This report follows the same format as previous years, outlining trustee expenses for the 23-24 fiscal year. Of note, I will draw your attention to the $33,468 spent on conferences. This includes the costs associated with trustees attending both the Public Education Symposium as well as the OPSPA AGM, Labor Relations and Northern Conferences, as well as student trustees attending the Ontario Student Trustees Association conferences and AGM, and that includes both our incoming and outgoing student trustees. The total cost of $138,938 is within our budgeted amount of $140,760 at revised budget from March of 2024. And again, happy to take questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, thank you very much, Superintendent Gilbo, for giving those reports. The next item of business is notice of absence. We have Trustee Cosmerly and both Trustee DeBoski who are absent this evening. And we'll move to number 6, Director's Remarks. I'll turn the floor over to Director Bourget. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Farrow. This month, I'd like to just take a moment to pause and express our gratitude to our school office staff. The start of the school year, as you know, is always a very busy time, and we're so grateful for the office staff and their support of students, staff, parents, and guardians each and every day. They are the friendly people who welcome visitors to the school and the voices who greet callers on the phone. They serve as an important frontline role in our schools and certainly build connections with our students and families, And behind the scenes, they always keep everyone organized. Shifting gears to a week ago, on Tuesday, October 15th, the board hosted the annual general meeting of the Parent Involvement Committee. And I'd like to thank members of our school councils who volunteered for PIC for the current school year. Following the annual general meeting, we hosted interactive, hands-on sessions for parents and guardians and their children. The evening was a great success. We estimate over 250 people attended at 3 sites, which included Sudbury Secondary School, ABLS Public School in Espanola, and Little Current Public School on Manitoulin Island. There were many sessions for participants to experience, including activities in reading, writing, and math, along with sessions in mindfulness and movement. The focus of these activities was to give parents and guardians resources and strategies they can use at home to continue learning together with their children. I'd like to thank Leslie Mantle and Nicole Schredt for their leadership, the system principal team for their hard work in preparing activities, and many school administrators and curriculum coordinators, consultants, and coaches, as well as members of our mental health team whose combined efforts made the evening fun for all. We had a great time. It was wonderful to meet our families from across the system of schools. Gratitude is also extended to our system principals, coordinators, consultants, and math coaches for the tremendous support provided to our schools. As demonstrated tonight in the EQAO OSSLT presentation this evening, we've shown growth in our results over time. Their outstanding efforts in combination with our dedicated administrators and talented teachers are the reason for the positive trends, along with the leadership of our superintendents and executive council. We'll all continue to work hard to support continued success for students and achievement. I'd also like to thank the Board of Trustees for your ongoing positivity and support. We are making progress with our priorities thanks to your leadership. Your energy, teamwork, focus on students, and commitment to student achievement is paramount to our success, and it's so greatly appreciated. I'll conclude by saying thank you to all of our staff for continuing to be difference makers in the lives of our students, and wish everyone a happy and safe, fun-filled Halloween next week. Thank you, Chair Farrell.
Thank you, Director. Any questions for Director Bourget? Seeing none. Other items. The Ontario Public School Board Director's report. Trustee Cosmley is not with us today. She just wanted me to let you know that she's updated everybody fully through the email. If you have any questions, please contact her directly. Next thing is student trustee. So we'll go to our student trustees for the report tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy that I'm here with you guys in person today. I want to thank you all for your support with the Ontario Student Trustee Association fees, and I'm very excited for our upcoming OSTA conference on November 7th. I'm pleased to share some of the activities the Student Senate has been up to this past month. Our Student Senate was up to some great brainstorming at our last meeting. As a group, we talked about our goals for the upcoming year. Some suggestions from senators included things like creating more visibility of the Senate in schools through more engagement with school clubs, establishing the importance of the Indigenous perspective, and creating resources for Indigenous students. These ideas led to the suggestion of creating announcements for schools on recognized days of significance like Black History Month and Pride Month. One of our senators even created a potential script for Remembrance Day. As for our yearly Stand Up, Speak Out conference, we began to talk about themes and speakers. Themes we discussed more in depth included making a difference, diversity, and emotional intelligence. Just like a side note, I was also selected to be interviewed at the upcoming OSTA conference about the role of student trustees and their importance. And thank you again for your time. Yeah, sorry, end of the report.
Thank you, Student Trustee Wilson-Siegel. Just to add on to that, I'd like to extend my gratitude as well for the approval of the fees for the upcoming OSTA ACO conference. As a member of the leadership team, this conference means a whole lot to me, and I've spent a lot of nights planning this conference, and so I'm very excited that I get to attend it and enjoy it myself. Another additional thing that we have been working on with the Senate is our Orange Shirt Day video and our script. Posted on Instagram, we had a number of senators that sent out what truth and reconciliation means to them on our RDSB Student Senate Instagram account. We have received a lot of positive feedback about that, and additionally we created a script to be presented on the morning of Orange Shirt Day, September 30th, 2024, to represent what the student senators are trying to commend for the Orange Shirt Day. Moving forward with that, we will be also extending more social media presence, such as a welcome to the Senate and explaining our senators' roles, and additionally creating a Remembrance Day post for Remembrance Day coming up this November 11th. Moving forward, our next mid-month meeting will be held tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. So if you guys would like to join, please let me know and I can add you guys to the invite list. And our next in-person meeting will be held November 4th at 5:30 p.m. in the Ernie Checkers boardroom. And as for other personal remarks, I had the opportunity to meet with the Minister of Education yesterday in Toronto, where I got to proudly represent the Rainbow District School Board and stating all of the amazing work that the Board of Trustees has been up to. Thank you.
Thank you, Student Trustee Wilson-Zagel and Trustee Nujitai. Do you have any questions? Seeing none, I just wanted to say thank you very much for the work that you're doing, and it's really impressive what you add to the spirit around this table, and I want to say thank you from all of us for the great work that you're doing. Next item of business is trustee remarks. Trustee McCauley.
Just briefly, Chair, I want to echo the director's comments with regards to the PIC annual meeting. And I see Leslie Mantle is here, and I know that she was a strong force in bringing it all together. But I was so impressed with the amount of staff, teachers, principals, superintendents that were there to make sure that this came off without a hitch. And you had to be there to hear the director's speech because it was right out of this world. He knocked it out of the park. So congratulations to everyone that was involved. It was a great evening.
Thank you, Trustee McCauley. Any other trustee remarks? Trustee Nujitai.
Mentioned in my student trustee report, I also wanted to speak about the topics that I had the opportunity to speak with Jill Dunlap yesterday. And so it was myself and my senior advocacy team as well. And the meeting was very brief. It was more an introduction to speak with our stakeholders because it's very important at OSTA to remain having a very good rapport with all of our stakeholders like Period Ontario and the Ministry of Education. And so as the chair of the Indigenous Student Trustees, I spoke about on-reserve curriculum and the challenges that students face on reserve communities as it is controlled by the federal government. I was curious to know the stance of the ministry and how they could affect and how I could work with the ministry and forward with the federal government to help adapt the on-reserve curriculum and also adding resources to help those students achieve best with the curriculum updates coming in the future, potentially. Additionally, the president of OSTA, Nanak, and I will be working with the student trustees all across Ontario to hopefully get an Indigenous student trustee mandated within every school board. Therefore, we can have all of the Indigenous views represented best upon all of the students across Ontario and specifically for all of the data collected among the student trustees at the OSTA ACO conference. And this will be looking like attending online meetings with a lot of different school boards and their superintendents that are very closely related to all the student trustees and briefly mention all of the amazing benefits and potential areas that these students have the opportunity to grow if they do become a student trustee and more specifically an Indigenous student trustee. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Nujitai. Anything else? Any other further trustee comments? Trustee Dewar, go ahead, online.
Thank you very much. I'd like to take a few moments and to congratulate our students and staff who devote so much of their time and energy to worthy fundraising for the many, many causes, both within our community and beyond. And with this in mind, I'd like to take just a minute and congratulate in particular Lockerbie Composite School for their contribution over many years to the annual cancer drive that's being held, that is held in our community. It is especially important because this year marks 29 years. And I don't have an amount, but it's this Thursday, I believe. And we look forward to seeing much success and in their endeavors. endeavors, and thank you so much. Wouldn't happen without staff who devote so much time and students who are so eager to help. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Dewar. Any other further trustee comments? Trustee Clement.
Thank you. Just a comment here. This was in our newspaper, and our press person put this out also. A big moose shutout was, wow, the numbers are in for our kids, rocked it out at S. Geiger. The bus campaigns were awesome. Espanola Stuff and Bus, October 8th. A.B. Ellis collected 320 items. Winning class, Mrs. Smith. Sacred Heart also had collected 504 items. And the 824 items donated to the Espanola Helping Hands Food Bank. So congratulations to all of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Clement. Any further trustee remarks? Seeing none, I'll move on to my remarks for this evening. First and foremost, I just wanted to echo, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for being here tonight. I just wanted to echo what Trustee Dewar had said. I had a quick note on the top of my remarks about the Kids Caring for Kids Cancer Drive at Lockerbie. This is an incredible, incredible event. And it's kid-driven, it's staff-driven. It's in its 29th year, as Trustee Dewar had said, and it's raised well in excess of $1 million over that time frame. So this is a very, very important activity and an important cause in our community to fight childhood cancer. So I just wanted to say a huge congratulations to everybody in Lockerbie, and they're going to be out collecting donations this Thursday, October 24th. Earlier today, some 45 students from Rainbow Schools in grade 9 to 12 participated in the Headstrong Summit at Cambrian College. Students learned how to recognize the signs of mental health and reduce stigma. Students were also inspired to become leaders to foster wellness in their own school communities. On Thursday, October 24th, 90 female students from Chelmsford Valley District Composite School, Confederation Secondary School, and Lively District Secondary School will attend Jill of All Trades, also at Canadian College. Students will enjoy a day of activities designed to excite their imaginations, ignite their passion, and encourage them to consider a rewarding career in skilled trades. And there will be no school for students on Friday, November 1st for the third professional activity day for 2024-2025 school year. We remind parents and guardians that information about professional learning is posted on the board website. And staff and students in Rainbow Schools will continue to learn about treaties and relationships during the Treaty Recognition Week from November 3rd to November 9th, 2024. Educational activities and lessons are part of the Rainbow District School Board's continuing focus on truth and reconciliation. In grade 9, students in the Rainbow Schools will spend the day at work, shadowing a parent, relative, friend, or volunteer, which will be hosted on Wednesday, November 6th as part of Take Our Kids to Work. Now in its 30th year, the national program gives students the opportunity to experience the world of work as they explore the possibility of career paths. And of course, all Rainbow Schools will observe Remembrance Day on Monday, November the 11th. Flags will fly at half-staff in Sudbury, Espanola, and Manitoulin Island from Friday, November the 8th to mark Indigenous Veterans Day throughout the weekend. And parents and guardians of students in grade 7 or 8 are invited to mark their calendars for Next Stop Grade 9 on Tuesday, November the 12th. The information session will focus on the changes in the choices students face while entering high school. This is an evening presentation in the Student Center at Cambrian College. Everyone is welcome, regardless of which elementary school students currently attend. And Sudbury Secondary School will present Beauty and the Beast Jr. for the public on November 15th, 16th, 22nd, and 23rd at 6:30 p.m., as well as a matinee on November 17th at 1 p.m. Tickets are only $20 for adults and $15 for youth, 12 and under, and can be purchased at the door in advance through School Cash Online. And that's my report for tonight. Thank you very much. So as we continue with the agenda here. Reports and proposals, section G. Attached to your package tonight, there is a report from the Special Education Advisory Committee. It's the minutes from May 1st, and those are the official minutes, as well as the official minutes from the Audit Committee, which met on May 8th, 2024. There's no tenders or requests for proposals or staff communications, and there's a notice on your meeting for future meetings. Just a reminder that tomorrow at 8:30 we have agenda setting for strategic planning, so it's a very important agenda setting meeting, so just remind trustees involved in that. And without any further ado, we need a motion to adjourn. So do we have a mover for that, please? We have a mover, Trustee Hunda, that we do adjourn at 5:50 p.m.